Hi guys, today we're making this tardis dress. So we have a hood here and our tardis windows and an overskirt, which is right here, and a skirt. Alright, let's get started. Hi guys, today we'll be making a tardis dress cosplay. So basically you're going to be needing Simplicity's pattern 1095. The other thing you're going to be doing from this is we're going to be borrowing these tardis windows and then this shawl part here, nothing from this dress. And then you're going to be needing Simplicity's 8317, and we're only using this overskirt. And to make the rest of this dress, you're going to be needing Bunny Co's Lolita skirt, and then Yumi King's Sweet Lolita, where you don't have to use like a zipper or Velcro or anything like that for the bodice and the shoulder straps. I did not record making this dress because these are from YouTuber videos. This is actually his first skirt for the tutorial, and then so this top is for the bodice of her Sweet Lolita dress. So what you'll be needing is I'm gonna put a description of how you make this dress in the description box, but basically is for you, she says you need about 2.5 yards, just about 2.5 for her skirt, and then you're going to add whatever that to the measurement from the bodice of your measurements, and you're going to add it all together to get the yardage, and you're going to include everything, including your pattern. Like I said, this is in the description and how I did this. So in the video, she has you sew the dress together as one tube. If you want to make this bigger and use ruffles, use 3 panels instead of 2, because mine ended up having to be pleats. So basically, instead of sewing it together like she says in the video, you're going to keep this out as one long tube, and then you are going to either use a ruffle or a foot or do this by hand. And from Bunny Co's Lolita skirt video, you don't need the waistband, because you're adding this to the bodice. So you'll make your ruffles and you'll put right sides together like this, and you'll sew it onto your skirt, and then this will be a long tube, and then you can sew this piece together at this end and then sew your ruffle. Now for the bodice, you are going to sew the one side together. Mine was actually loose. I decided to use the whole 44 inches of the fabric, so mine was loose because my bust is size 40. So I added a casing for the elastic. So I made elastic about the size of my chest. This goes underneath your armpits, and then if you have like a friend or if you have a dress form, you're going to place this on there to place where you want your straps, and then you're going to sew your straps on. And then for these windows, you're going to follow the directions from the Simplicity pattern. So what I did is I took the pattern piece has markings for the windows. So I took really thin ribbon and I put that on, and I zigzagged over the top of each piece, and then I took the black ribbon and I put it around the window. And then it talks about like fusible web, so you're going to be putting that on your backing of this. Then you're probably going to put the dress on to see where you like to place your windows. And then you're going to pin your windows in place, and then you're going to take your iron and iron it so that the fusible web sticks to your skirt, or I mean your dress. And then you're going to stitch around your windows after you iron those fusible web on. What basically it is, if you didn't have the fusible web, the in-center piece, the inside of this would be all loose and puckery. So with that, it just makes it stay straight and not fall apart. So like I said, I have how to do this in the description. With mine only being 2 panels, I pleated it. I used a fork to make my 1-inch pleats. There are pleats on this side, and then there are pleats on the back here, as you can see, but none on the side. So it kind of looks flat. So when you make this costume, you will need a pettiskirt. So the directions for this are going to be written on the description. So this is my concept design. So the next step, we're going to be making the shawl, the hooded shawl, and then the overskirt. So I will be doing a tutorial for this overskirt. Like I said, it came from Yumi King and Bunny Co's Lolita skirt, so I didn't know if it was okay to film that stuff. But like I said, I have it in the description box below on how I did it. So this skirt part here is done. So I'm going to be making the hood, which is this right here. So I'll be doing a tutorial on the hood and this overskirt for our cosplay. I'm sorry about the fact that I didn't record the skirt or dress, because like I said, I don't know if you're allowed to film other YouTubers' videos while you're working on it. So I'll just have a description how I put it all together. Alright, so let's make our hood vest thing from Simplicity's pattern 1095. And sorry that I rambled on so much, I just thought I could sort of explain it. Okay. Working on a shrug, you are going to put your darts in on your pattern, on your black and your blue, or your lining, or your blue tardis fabric. You're just going to mark your dots, and you're going to do this on both sides of each fabric. And then you're going to pinch these together, and then you're going to sew your darts. Working on a shrug, you are going to put your darts in on your pattern, on your black and your blue, or your lining, or your blue tardis fabric. You're just going to mark your dots, and you're going to do this on both sides of each fabric. And then you're going to pinch these together, and then you're going to sew your darts. Pinch them together like this, and then you're just going to sew along the line and open them up like this. And then you're going to do the same thing to your other, and then on your lining material. So just pin and fold over, and then just sew on your line. Alright, I'll take you to the next. Put your right sides together, and that means put your shoulder seam. You're going to put the front, and the shorter side of this goes this way, and then the longer way goes this way. Do that to your other one. You're going to sew these at 5/8. Don't sew this together just yet, just the shoulder seams. So my machine is 5/8 right there. And you're going to repeat this for your lining material. Sew it at the shoulder seam. Alright, I'll take you to the next step. Is to take wrong sides together, which means that the right sides would normally be this edge touching the other edge. So you're going to have your edges, the wrong sides touching. So basically you'll want to have your folded dart on the inside. Folded dart on the inside. And then the same thing. Alright, I'll take you to the next step. So you're going to pin them together, and then you're going to do your longest stitch, which is a base stitch, and you're going to sew it 1/4 from your edge. Right. Next, you're going to get out your bias strip, and you're going to pin it on to your underarm seam, and you're going to fold over your edges. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your edge and then fold it over, and then pin it on to your underarm. And you're going to repeat and do this to the other arm. And you're going to put the longer side of your bias to the back. You see how this sticks over a little bit at the end? So that's how you put that on and sew it. put your blue material to the inside, and you are going to match your right sides together, which would be the blue and blue touching, and you're going to sew your underarm seam at 5/8. So you're just going to sew that down. Alright, I'll take you to the next step. Alright, so your tissue paper has some pleats and a dot at the bottom. So you're going to mark that on your blue fabric on both sides. And then you're going to put right sides together, and you're going to sew the back curve of your hood. And you're going to do this to your lining material and your outer material. And then I'm going to take you to the next. Repeat the steps like we did for our underarms. So you're going to sew this at 1/4 all the way around your neck and all the way around your hood front, and then you're going to pin your bias strip on just like we did the armpits, and then you're going to sew that. So now you're going to pleat our ends. I got this side done. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take this and meet it up with this, and you're going to create a fold in the center. So you're just going to bring it over like this, matching that line with the other one. You're just going to baste the stitches together with the long stitches going over your pleats, and then I'll take you to the next step. You're going to place your hood at the top. You're going to match your center with your center fold or seam for your bodice, and the hood says to sew it at 3/8, and so does the back bodice, and that is right here on my machine. You're going to base stitch this, and now we are going to be sticking on some bias just like we have been with the others. So let's do that now. You're just going to stick bias strip at the end of your garment, and you're just going to sew this on. So the next step is to put your buttons on your short side. Now my machine, I had trouble figuring out buttonholes, and it didn't really explain how to do buttonholes in our little pamphlet thing that came with the pattern. So what I ended up having to do is I created some loops. So on each side, before you sew your buttons on, you're going to fold it over slightly like this, and then do the same thing over here. Mine was about 1 inch on the button side, and then you're going to take some ribbon and you're going to hook it on. So you're going to figure out the size by hooking it on and then sewing it to the reverse side. So you'll have something that looks like this. If you're a person who knows how to do buttonholes or buttons, then you can go ahead and do that, but I couldn't figure it out, and I tried it by hand. I tried to practice it on everything, so this is the result that I had. So if you do decide to do the loops, it'll be this close together. Alright, so now we are going to work on our overskirt part of the dress. Make sure you put all the chalk markings on your overskirt, which is, let me take you over there real quick. Seems I have it laid out. So there'll be dots there, over there, and up there, and on the edge. So you'll mark all your markings, and then I'll take you to the next step. So my blue fabric is the outer fabric, but I'm going to be using this as an example. You're going to be taking your outer fabric, and you're going to be sewing 5/8 along here. This is your center back, and then you're going to press it open, and then I'll take you to the next step. You're going to make your ruffles now. You're going to sew your ruffles, all 6 ruffles together at their seams, and then together. And then you're going to make a narrow hem. You're going to fold it over and fold it over again, and then sew. And then you're going to gather up your threads by putting the longest stitch in your ruffle. Then you're going to pin on your ruffle where the seams will go where the dots are, and evenly distribute your gathers. And then you're going to base stitch them onto your main overskirt dress. And I'll take you to the next step. The center seam like you did with the blue fabric. Now with your black fabric, you're going to put the right sides together, and you're only going to sew along where the ruffle is, and we're going to leave the top open, and we're going to probably pull right sides out through there. The top of your skirt, and you're going to put 2 gathering stitches in between your baste. So mine are right here and right here. And so you're going to make your waistband by folding it over and sewing it, and you're going to let's see, where is it? Hold on one sec, guys. Before you baste this together, you're going to make a narrow hem at the end. You're just going to fold that over and then over again, and then baste stitch this. And then you're going to pin it to, you're going to pull up your gathers, and then you're going to pin it to your overskirt. I had trouble with gathering it up. My threads kept breaking, so I just cut an extra piece, and I'm going to insert some elastic. But if you chose to do the gathers, you're just going to pull them up, and then you're just going to sew this edge. So I'm just going to sew this edge, and then I'm going to insert elastic right through our holes right here. Alright. So you'll just have to insert your ribbon. I decided to use bias tape because I had it left over, so you'll cut about 2 yards. And then you'll pin one end to your material. And then you're going to stuff it with a bobby pin or a bobkin. And you're just going to go through your channel. And then you're all done. And then our tardis dress is complete. And if you feel like you need like a petty skirt or a petticoat, you can add that to your skirt. Alright, I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you make this tardis cosplay dress. And I'll see you guys later. Bye!